At number 10, we have the 6-3 Miami Dolphins. At number 10 on the list, we have the 6-3 Dolphins. They made the list because two of their three losses were the big contenders in the league, that being the Ravens and the Jets, two guys who look to be fighting for that AFC championship. They're being led by fifth-year man Albert Wilson. He totals 628 yards on 41 catches and 8 touchdown catches. Just through 10 weeks, he's well on his way to 1,000 yards. And they notched a big W in Week 6 against the 7-2 Redskins, who are also going to make this list. Now, they've got a couple gritty wins over some low-level teams, but don't let that fool you because they came to fight and they'll fight with anybody. Number 9, the Denver Broncos. At number 9 is the 6-3 Denver Broncos. They're being led by Noah Fant, the rookie tight end. He currently totals 42 receptions for 473 yards and 7 touchdowns. The Denver Broncos haven't shown much this season, to be honest. They carry a 6-3 record, but to be honest, they've played nothing but powder puffs. The only reason they make the list is because they carry a 6-3 record. However, we are on the lookout for them because you can't discount any team. Yet they are on a losing streak, so in the upcoming weeks we'll see if they remain on the list or if they just keep continuing their downward spiral. Number 8, the Washington Redskins. At number 8, we have the 7-2 Washington Redskins, who made a mid-season coaching change after 2 losses in a row. With a new coach, they are 2-0, and they're being led by second-year man Darius Geis. On 144 carries, he has 706 yards, totaling almost 5 yards an average and 8 touchdowns on the ground, while he also totals 15 catches and 150 yards through the air with 2 touchdowns, bringing his mid-season total to 10 touchdowns through 9 games. They are a team to be on the lookout for. Number 7, the New York Jets. At number 7, the 6-2 Jets are slowly sneaking onto everybody's radar. Last week beating the 6-2 at the time Dolphins, forcing them to the 10th spot on our list. They're being led by Le'Veon Bell, the 6th-year man out of Michigan State. He totals 140 carries for 970 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. That's almost a 7 yards a carry average, but that doesn't include his 11 receptions and 160 yards through the air. The Jets were not on anybody's radar, but they're slowly making themselves known with these sneaky W's they're getting, blowing the Jaguars out 52-7 a few weeks ago. We're starting to wonder about them. And number 6, the Atlanta Falcons. At number 6, the Atlanta Falcons come in on the list. You would think a team that only has 1 loss would come in a little bit higher than this, but the last game they played suggests that their record might be fickle. Their schedule might be worse than paper mache. They're being led by second-year man Calvin Ridley with 50 receptions for 476 yards and 6 touchdowns. The Falcons look like perennial contenders until the last game that they lost by 59 points with a 66-7 final score against none other than the New Orleans Saints. At number 5, the Baltimore Ravens. At number 5, the Baltimore Ravens come in with a 7-1 record, being led by second-year phenom Lamar Jackson, totaling 1,729 yards on 157 completions with 21 touchdowns and a 75% completion percentage. The Ravens look like perennial contenders until they dropped a game to the known Chiefs, who many thought to be the lesser competition. They're trying to keep it rolling as they notched a big win against the Patriots last week that ended in a concede. Some people just can't roll with the punches. The Ravens defense looks very stout, but their offense looks shaky at times. Can they keep their momentum moving forward, or will they stall out mid-season? Number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs come in at number 4 with an 8-2 record, while their quarterback's currently leading the league in passing with 3,061 yards on 218 completions with 30 touchdowns on a 75% completion percentage. Their offense is also led by Tyreek Hill, who leads the league in receptions with 60 receptions on 897 yards and a league-leading tie in touchdowns with 14. The Chiefs have lost to a significant team, the Lions, who are currently undefeated, and they've also beaten the team that is just below them, with them beating the 8-1 Baltimore Ravens. We're on the lookout for the Chiefs. Number 3, the New Orleans Saints. At number 3, the 8-1 New Orleans Saints come in looking like the absolute boogeyman the last 2 weeks, putting up nearly 60 points back-to-back weeks, winning their last game by 59 points against an undefeated contender. The New Orleans Saints are currently being led by Alvin Kamara on 153 carries. He totals 722 yards for 9 touchdowns, while almost averaging 5 yards a carry. And then through the air, he totals 23 receptions for 277 yards and 2 touchdowns. We're starting to wonder if the Saints offense can be slowed or if it's just too much for anybody to handle. I hope that they aren't continue to put up 60 points, because if so, it's going to get rough for y'all. At number 2, the Detroit Lions. The undefeated Detroit Lions come in at number 2 on our list, currently being led by third-year man Kenny Golladay. He currently totals 50 receptions for 933 yards on 14 touchdowns just through the air, just through 9 games this season. That's where he's at the midway point. The Detroit Lions are currently sitting at 9-0 undefeated, with their biggest win coming against number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. They've been a sneaky contender this year because nobody's talking about them. But low-key, they're over there killing folks. They're undefeated, and they're waiting to be knocked off, silently assassinating their prey. Coming in is the undefeated Niners, who haven't looked unstoppable. They've been unstoppable the last 4 weeks, totaling 203 points scored while only allowing 39 points through the last just 4 weeks. The Niners have looked completely dominant, being led by third-year man Matt Breida. He carried the ball 156 times for 892 yards on 9 touchdowns, and he caught the ball 6 times for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. The world's starting to wonder, how will we stop the Niners? What do we do? What does he do? Well, I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks. Hopefully he doesn't continue to blow people out. Or if he does, maybe he just earned his Super Bowl from week 1. He's been dominant since the beginning. Can anybody beat him? I don't know. His biggest win? We don't know. It comes against the 7-2 Redskins. Maybe he'll keep it up.